Hey guys, so today I will be analyzing a game that I have been playing, or that I have played before, and what I want you guys to understand and take away from this game is that it is a great example of how to attack when your opponent makes a mistake that you can capitalize on. So, first things first, I want to start off by, hold on. I want to start off by saying that this was played 2 weeks ago. I have bookmarked it, and it is something I constantly refer back to for reference because it is a great example of how to attack in chess. So I was white. My opponent was black. At this time, we were both about rated 1600, so a very high level game. And the game started out with the queen's pawn opening. He played the Dutch. I continued a similar queen's gambit sort of formation with my pawns, and the game continued like this. Okay, here's the thing. Notice how he castled before he decided he wanted to go collect my bishop. This is not good, because if he truly wants my bishop, I drop back, he takes, this is a huge mistake, so I get my rook involved, and while he does have an escape square on this f7 file right here, it's pretty scary for him already. I have pieces that can sort of join the attack. I have a bishop that can eventually come in. So we already have thoughts of attacking here the moment he takes our piece, our bishop. So the game continued. He just drops back for no reason. He's probably going to need that to defend. So that might have been one of the better moves, but I don't know. There aren't many ways to defend because I just continue my development. So here's a lesson. Sometimes it's actually not the best to castle in this situation. Alexi has taught me before, when I was a beginner, he taught me always castle, always follow that rule, keep your king safe, no matter what. Well, now we're in this situation where I have a really, really good rook that can be used for many, many purposes later on in the game. Castling completely defeats that purpose of the rook, and my attack is not as effective. So it might actually be beneficial to keep my king in the center because he can't really hack into he can't really hack into my structure yet, and it's a relatively closed defense right now. So the game continued, and I just moved the knight, sort of just like one of those, madman defense or madman tactics where I'm gonna get my knight out of the way so I can kill you. This is a 3-minute game, I will note, and let you guys know that. So perfect chess obviously won't be played, but certain games are better than others, and this happened to be a game with lots of tactics, and I thought it was beneficial to show you. So the game continued. I lined my queen up, as I said before, and that's one of the best ways to defend. There isn't really any other effective ways, but it creates weaknesses. As you can see through the computer right here, we're already almost +1. This gets scary for him already. So this is, just trying to fix my pawns, maybe get my queen on this open line. My queen is probably serving better over here on g4 than it's serving on h5. So he actually takes, I take back, and as you can see, the computer analysis completely skyrockets. We're up by 3.5. So this is winning for us. So he's probably going to defend. That's a terrible way to defend. His best move is to probably just block things right now. But as you can see, the computer just thinks anything is pretty much bad. So I take, because obviously this is not a chess move. This isn't a chess move. He cannot do this. So he goes here. That's, I think he's hoping that we take. I take with the queen. He takes back with the pawn. I take with the queen, and he gets my rook. But then you have to calculate. Is that even like, is him taking my rook okay? Because that rook's just collecting things at this point. So the game continued like this. So I took. I wasn't sure if I had more time. I would probably be able to calculate if that would okay, if letting him take the rook was okay and just taking the pawn. As you can see, we're already +5. If I took the pawn, let's see what the computer said. Let's see what the computer thinks. Okay, so it says it's winning for black. Okay, so no, that's probably not good. So I just drop back. Now he's just trying to hack into my system. It's okay though, because at some point I might just castle long, and we'll be okay. He has no attack on me. He's in pretty much defense right here, and the attack continues. So I took it, putting more pressure on the bishop. He moves the bishop, and you say, okay, well, this is where our attack comes to an end. Pause the video here, but there is a very, very good, actually there are several, but there are a few good moves. There's one good move, and it's the one I played. See if you can find it. Okay. Hope you were able to find that tactic. And the game continues. So this was the tactic, which was rook g6. The point is we're double attacking this bishop. We're double attacking this bishop. If he moves this bishop for some reason, we can just take here, and the king is close to dying, if not only a few moves away from dying. So yeah, so he's probably gonna lose that bishop either way, or else get checkmated. So he thinks he finds a cool move, but obviously I just take, because this does not exist. Taking the rook does not exist, and we're up a bishop and a pawn, which is great. So he's trying to kick my knight. I think he realizes that's a pretty good knight. I remind him that this is still a very, very interesting and scary attack that I have going. So he defends, and I was trying to calculate this. The point is, if he takes our rook, we get this, and if he moves this way, he loses his queen. If he goes this way, then we can castle long, and we can, we can line this rook up here, and this is pretty much checkmate no matter what. So it's bad for him either way. If he takes with the queen, then we just get the queen for free. He takes our rook, but we got a queen for a knight and a rook, which is pretty good. More material. All right. So that's why he doesn't want to take after we do this. He runs that way. And I moved there just to put more pressure on that pawn. He double defends. And this is where I just bring all my pieces into the attack. Maybe we have a move sort of here, maybe with the thought of checking. Maybe we can. This is probably better, but knight e5 is probably better because that rook is sort of stuck. It's very, very scary for him. So he pushes, but I think his point is, obviously, I can't take, and I can't take this way. I think his point is he was just sacrificing another pawn to make that knight less scary, but I didn't want that. And so I didn't want that. And I wanted my attack to continue in full swing, so I didn't want that. I offer him a queen trade. He says no for some reason. Just note, in this situation, if you're not going to resign, you should probably queen trade because with my queen on the board, there's so many things I can still do. And I find a nice fork here. He drops his rook. And so now he offers the queen trade. And here, it's a 3-minute game. So like I said, perfect chess will not be played. This is checkmate. It's a mate that I missed. Another great move for us. We can win more material. If we didn't find this, we could just take the rook, because the point is, if he takes our queen, we just take back with the knight. And the point is, after we fork, he does this, and we had checkmate. I still went a pawn this way. I take here. I was losing time. I wasn't exactly sure what to do. There were so many good options, so I just didn't see that mate there. So he takes, and I win a pawn. He saves his rook. I check. The point is, he can't go here, he can't go here. Actually, he can go here, but then we can just check again. And things get scary for him once again. So he goes here. He goes to e8. And I find a fork. And the game continued like this. So I castled long there, just a point of note. There's nothing special about here, but I castled long because right now, the way his king is structured, I can't really win the game or checkmate him with 2 knights and a rook. It would take a long time. So the point is, I'm not castling long to stay safe. We have to remember that this rook and this bishop are not really playing chess. There's no threat. So the point is, I just castled long so that I could get my rook involved and help win the game. So he runs, and the game continued like this. Okay, so he just blundered. I think he was down on time a little bit. He wasn't really sure what to do, so he just blundered. He tried to attack my knight. I dropped back, and he took my pawn, and now this is completely winning. And I'll just show you guys the rest of the game for an extent, because this is an interesting game. So I just stopped that. Take. So, okay, so here's where things get interesting. He has 1 pawn, but if I don't play this correctly, this could be a draw. So I have to be careful here. So I drop my knight back. He plays there. I do this, and this is getting very, very close to a drawing position. His next move, his only move actually, is here, pawn c5. If I take with the rook, then that's a draw, as you can see by the computer analysis. If I take with the pawn, we're still winning because he just goes here, 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 and that's actually also a draw. So you just have to be careful. If he goes there, actually we can just checkmate that way. So just be careful here. This was my opponent trying to be smart and sneaky, but that's why in an endgame, if you don't have a queen on the board, or you don't have, all we have is a rook that isn't really playing chess, a rook that's also kind of not playing chess. This is super winning, but these rooks aren't doing much, so we just have to be careful of a draw. So I limit his squares once again, like I said. And the point is, I moved my rook. I did not want any chance of being a draw. He takes, which is one of his only legal moves, and we checkmate here. He's mated. So the point is, as you can see right here, we're plus 18 points. We're up. We're up 2 rooks. We're up 2 rooks, 2 bishops, a few pawns. I mean, this is super winning. No doubt about it. There's nothing. As long as you don't draw, this is a super win. But back when it started, look, I mean, see, the computer sees what he did as a mistake. We're already plus 0.5 here, and you can look at that. We're already plus almost 1.5 here. I just develop more. I drop, and he has to do that, which just creates so many weaknesses. He takes, and he played some nothing move, and this is just another free pawn. You can see by the computer we're plus 6. We have a great attack going. There's temporary solutions to my attack, but the way I played it, I think it's pretty much a win. Once you're in this position, I mean, if your opponent knows what he's doing, then it's not guaranteed a win, but this is a scary attack. I mean, look at what happened later on. Notice we have this. The only piece that isn't playing chess is this. And you saw later that I castled long and got that piece into the game. And notice his bishop isn't playing. His rook isn't playing. His rook isn't playing chess. He's got nothing. They're not defending the king at all. They have nothing. So if you use all your pieces, and like Alexi says, if you use all of your pieces, you have a lot bigger chance of winning the game than if you do of losing. So using all your pieces, in my opinion, is the recipe to success. You get an attack going like this. Technically, even though taking the bishop was a mistake here, I mean, you can see the computer. I mean, we're only plus 0.5 here. I mean, what we did leading up to, leading up to this queen being here, and leading up to, what we did leading up to these next, 15 moves leading up to here, this is where it gets interesting, in my opinion. The moment what we did, we have our knights here, and these knights can be very good. We can get them into the attack later. There's just so much potential that we have for this game, that I had for this game, and I think I played it well. If there are certain better moves that I did, obviously that mate is one of them. That mate on d8 is definitely one of them, but it's a 3-minute game. Perfect chess isn't going to be played, but I think it's a great example of how to attack and use your pieces. If you have an idea, like Alexi says, subscribe to his channel and post something in the comments box. Thank you to Alexi for giving me amazing chess lessons. I've improved so much because of you. Thank you so much. Hit that like button down below, and see you later. Bye.